Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been quite some time since I made a video, so I thought I would jump on and get one made for you guys. So I've actually been wanting to do this for quite some time, actually several weeks. As you can see here at the beginning, I am showing you a lot of scraps that I have had laying about all over my desk. I had done some children's ephemera packs several weeks back and they had sold over in my Etsy shop, and I just continue to have so many scraps laying about on my desk. And what I decided to do was just pile them all into this tray that you can see on my left hand side there. And I just wanted to keep them sort of grouped together because they were all sort of bright scrapbooking papers and children's book pages and comics and all that kind of thing that I thought went really, really well together. As you can see just there, I was pulling some out and I thought, oh, I can't pull these all out. There was just so many there, so I just ended up grabbing sort of like a small handful. Um, so yeah, here I am just trimming down some scrapbooking papers that are in there just to make journaling cards. Um, yeah, but I have had these scraps sitting around for a very long time and I really have to destash. I've got such a problem with piles of things just laying about in my room, and I am just trying to get rid of things. I just have far too much, and I don't know about you guys, but it really sort of puts a damper on my creativity and it clutters my mind to have all this sort of mess around me. So I'm just trying to work on my room right now, just sort of de-stashing and getting rid of things. And, that was kind of the motivation for me making this video as well. It's kind of, sharing a little bit with you guys and then also getting rid of some of my stuff at the same time. So I cut down the papers just to make journaling cards. They were just a mixture of sizes. It didn't matter to me what size they were, just wanted some different sizes to play around with. And to the left there you can actually see some sort of cut aparts, I think you call them. They come from the paper pads. They are crepe paper or Maggie Holmes sort of cut aparts that I've also had laying about. So I've put those in a pile. I tried to put things in piles to make it a little bit easier for me to work on these little journaling cards, but really at the end they all sort of got mixed into one and became a big jumbled mess anyway. So I don't know why I bother putting things in piles really. So I just cut out those scrapbooking papers there and then I'm just working over top of them. I've got some comic book images there. They're from vintage children's books. I don't know what you would call them. I'm just kind of looking around my room to see. I think they're like, if you guys know the Girls Crystal annual books, or they're kind of from the 1950s or the 1960s. I guess they were books for sort of girls or teens, and they were quite sort of large. They came with stories and comics and things in them. But yeah, this one here had coloured comics in it, which was really nice to work with because I do have a pile of black and white comics there as well. So yeah, for this one here, I've got the coloured comic, and I'm just playing around with scraps. Literally, you guys can tell what I'm doing. I don't really have to tell you guys, but I'm just sort of piecing bits and pieces together to make collage cards. Actually, this being my first one took me a little bit longer to do because I always find that the first thing I make takes a lot longer than anything that I continue to make, if that makes sense, until I get into sort of like a flow or a rhythm, and then I'm just sort of slapping things down and enjoying myself a lot more. So there I've got a black and white comic as well, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing here on camera for you guys, is just making these journaling cards. As you can see here, I think I showed at the beginning of the video that these are paper bags. They're two different colours. This one is a gorgeous, like, gosh, would you call it a yellowish kind of a colour? And then I've got another packet which is a more brown, and I think these are nice to sort of back your cards with. They're very, very cheap, maybe one comes from Woolworths and one comes from Coles. I don't believe I've seen the 2 packets in the one store. So yeah, if you guys are here in Australia and you're looking for the paper bags, they're in the sort of lunch boxy section, or where you get, you know, your tin foil and all that kind of stuff. So they're always fun and cheap and a great way to rip up and make sort of a backing for your journaling cards, because you can always obviously leave them completely blank on the back, but it's nice, I think, to have a bit of a backing. And what I'm going to do too is I'm not actually going to do any sewing on camera for you guys. It takes a little bit longer to edit, and I just thought it'd be easier if I went away and did some sewing, and then I'll show you guys at the end. Also there I've got some children's book pages. Those are very vintage, actually. They're from the 50s, I think. I'm trying to think what book it came from. Maybe it was from Heidi or something, but they were just sort of leftover scraps that I couldn't part with. I thought that's just some beautiful vintage imagery, and you can always use them up somehow. So here they are here, and yeah, just a mixture of things going on. You guys can pretty much see what I'm doing. It's self-explanatory. But I hope you guys have all been keeping really well. I'm trying to think what I've been up to. The last video I think I put on YouTube was just a very, very short one of a walk that I took when I was up in Noosa, which was like a wildflower trail in the Noosa National Park. So yeah, I didn't really plan for that to be a video, but I thought it would be interesting to show you guys what I saw up there, and it was just absolutely beautiful. We went away last weekend, and it was kind of a last minute family getaway, so we had a 3-day long weekend and decided to head on up to Noosa. We took our 2 kids up with us, and yeah, had a little bit of family time. So it was just beautiful. That wildflower walk was, I don't think you could even tell in the video how beautiful it was, but I was just gobsmacked because I don't really see wildflowers like that here on the Gold Coast. So I mean, maybe they are here and there, but this was just such a beautiful walk, and it kind of started out in the forest, if that makes sense. It was kind of a foresty part, because you could see there was a possum and a kookaburra, and then it turned more beachy, and the walkway turned into sand, and we had lovely views of the ocean, and just beautiful. People who live up in Noosa and live around that beautiful Noosa National Park are so lucky to have such a beautiful area to walk in and witness all those beautiful wildflowers. I actually got my seasons a little bit confused, or my wildflower seasons, I guess you could say, because I thought that wildflower season started in September, but it actually starts in August, so I was like a month late. So I had missed some. You probably saw in the video there were some unusual looking plants that were like pods hanging off there. They were, I think they were a Banksia plant, and I think that they're deemed a wildflower. So they looked like they'd actually sort of stopped blooming, I guess. So yeah, I had missed out on seeing a few varieties of wildflowers, but yeah, I was lucky enough to see some really, really, really amazingly beautiful flowers. So it was a great time, and we stayed at a beautiful apartment and went swimming, went out in the boat, and we went to Australia Zoo, and yeah, and then we headed home. So it's nice because we don't often get away as a family, so it was a special time that we had there.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world out? Rest to you. close the curtains, brew some herbal tea, reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about, but who care for the world now? Rest with me, close the curtains, brew some herbal tea, reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Maybe then I can relax. Maybe then I can relax. Bring my hair loose in my bed. Oh, just rest with me. Close the curtain, brew some herbal tea, reach out for me, oh, and take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Rest with me, close the curtain, brew some herbal tea, reach out for me, and take my hand and lead even when I disagree.
So it was actually really relaxing just sitting here and making these journaling cards. I still have got all of this stuff out on the table, and I'm going to try and leave it out there for as long as possible to make more things up. I don't want to be bringing all this pile of scraps and mess back into my craft room again, so I'm going to try my hardest to use up as much as possible over the next few days. But it was one of the more quieter days here in my home, actually, because my husband's been working from home for the past couple of weeks, so we actually share the same space. So my craft room is kind of shared with his workspace. So yeah, when he works, it's he quite often has to go into, what would you call them, meetings and things online, and I guess they're not really, I guess they're Zoom meetings or something similar to that. So it's kind of a little bit hard for me to be in my actual craft room or doing things that might be a little bit noisy, like being on my sewing machine and things like that. So actually on this day he went into work, so it was a nice quiet time where I could get a little bit of crafting done and have a little bit of time to myself here. So it's really enjoyable, and I think he's back home tomorrow. So yeah, so what else have I been up to? I'm just trying to think. I have also been making another journal. Actually, part of the last children's ephemera packs that I was making, the reason why I did those is because I actually started them, I think, all the way back in January or maybe even last year. And I had never finished them. They had just sat in a pile of unfinished projects around my room, and part of my sort of de-stash, trying to use things up and clear things out, was finishing off old projects that I started. So that was why I did the children's packs, and that's why I have these leftover scraps. But I had also begun a journal, which I guess I'm calling my wallpaper journal. You guys, I don't know if you guys have seen it. maybe it's made an appearance in one of my videos, I'm not too sure. I picked that one up and I wanted to finish it off, but it's a bit of a bigger journal. I think it has about 4 or 5 signatures, and I get kind of overwhelmed with making larger journals. I did put a bit of time into it, but I put it back aside again, and then I picked up another book and started another journal. So I don't know why I do it to myself. I'm supposed to be finishing off projects, not starting new ones. But anyway, I made another journal, and it's actually pretty much done. And it's so lovely, and I was so tempted to keep it for myself, but I'm not going to. I am going to sell it because I have another book which is it's actually a Beatrix Potter biography that I want to alter for myself. So that's why I'm not going to keep this one, even though I love it. But I have been working on this journal, and yeah, it's pretty much good to go. I want to make a few journaling cards to pop in it and put a few pieces of ephemera, and it'll be ready to hit my shop probably by the end of the week, I'm thinking. So that's another thing that I've been up to.
Hey, he's got me looking quite beige, got me deep in the haze. There's no more compassion, no. Raise me, I need something fast, I need something to last and give satisfaction, no. Hey, big is your love? Tell me how high is your...
Alrighty, you guys, so that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me just sit down and try and destash my scraps a little bit and make these journaling cards. I did go ahead and make a few extra off camera as well, so you'll see those in here. I just sewed around with some sort of light brown thread and a little bit of lace, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I think it's not a bad effort for this afternoon, and I'll continue to try and make some more of these while I've got my stuff out on the table. But the one thing I did want to say to you guys who are living in California or Oregon, that my love, thoughts and prayers are going out to anybody who's affected by the awful fires that are raging over there. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and I can't believe that this sort of thing happens pretty much every year. So yeah, just my thoughts and my prayers go out to all of you, and my heart breaks for the animals that are also affected by these fires as well. Of course, I'm a huge animal lover, so it's just these kinds of things is so devastating. And yeah, so anyway, you guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of joy. I put a little bit of joy in your day or a smile on your face. So take care, you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!